Chuck and Tito are now out doing media for Oscar for a fight. A fight that does not have a venue booked, that does not have tickets on sale, that does not have a name. Is it called Golden Boy MMA? Maybe. I don't know. So they're out doing promotion for something that does not exist. That's weird. For two veterans, for two smart guys, for two up-and-comers, they would go do it because they're not smart enough on the business enough, and they would just be out having fun and glad that somebody wanted to talk to them. But for two veterans of the business, you would follow the recipe. You would do your press conference the same day as your tickets go on sale. You would unveil it all at once. You would build an excitement and an energy within a small community, right within a 20-mile radius of where the venue is, and you would start with tickets. You would move on to television second and later. So the fact that you get two veterans to go out and do MMA media and declare that they're fighting each other, and then have Ariel ask a second question of when and is this signed, and have them say, well, no, and we don't know. And then you kind of go, okay, wait a minute. Did you just hold a press conference for an event that doesn't exist? Because don't make any mistake, Oscar isn't looking to get into MMA to make money and to have a long-term play here. He's getting into it because Dana White just stepped into boxing, and he's trying to stick it in Dana's ass and let him know, you stay out of my space and I'll stay out of yours. Oscar's bluffing. So now if he doesn't ever have to write a check, book a venue, secure any TV rights, or do any kind of a show to get promotion to show his bluff to Dana, who's not going to care one way or the other. I mean, it's a sucker's play by Oscar, but why would he go on with the event? The whole thing's a publicity stunt, and you just gave him publicity. This is from two veterans. I realize these guys are as dumb as a box of rocks. I do get that, and they came up in a different era, right? They're not. They're out. They don't understand what we're doing now. They don't understand what the era is now. I just still would have expected more. I would not expect a sucker's move from guys that don't have contracts and that were told something by a guy they have no relationship with who has never been in this space before. So they now gave him everything that he was willing to spend $5 and $10 million for, which is media and press, to go along with the bluff to let MMA guys know to stay in your lane and I'll stay over here in mine. The whole thing's a ruse, and now Oscar never has to write a check, and these two dum-dums that just held an alleged press conference for an event that does not exist or even have an event name, let alone a date, a venue, tickets on sale, a poster made, anything whatsoever. I don't even think Oscar's gone out and as far as to get his promoter's license, which would cost him 5 minutes of his life, a signature, and a $100 fee. I think he just got these two suckers to go out and do free media for him to hope that Dana White flinches and doesn't jump into boxing and put him out of business completely, which is all Oscar's after in the first place. And I think he just got two former world champions. I mean, I don't know, man. If you put Tito and Chuck together, what would that equal? A 50 Cent? What if you had the three of them all in one room together? Chuck, Tito, and 50 Cent sitting around coming up with strategy, coming out with fight strategy. How great would that be? Chuck and Tito could get interviews anytime they wanted. They're not going to be great. They're not going to do record numbers. I mean, you got a doofus with a mohawk and whatever Tito is, right? Something negative. And insult negative, clever, creative line there by Chael. The only one that comes out is Oscar because he does have Golden Boy promotions. He does have other events. He just had this Triple G thing, right? Canelo got jammed up, but he's going to be coming back. Oscar is going to need things where he can turn media opportunities into revenue. He can monetize them. Chuck and Tito are still sitting at home with thumbs up their ass talking about the good old days when people used to know who they were. That's the reality. The reality here is Oscar duped them, seemingly, into going out and creating press that he will later use and monetize something for him and his company. And those guys are still sitting at home. And now they're on an island. They made themselves look like fools. Chuck went one step further in the I'm a fool boat, which is he wanted a world title fight. He said, hey, give me a couple of warm-up fights, and then let me go fight for this. Give me John Jones. Give me that opportunity. And as weird as that is, you could see where a great competitor, a true competitor in his heart, is far associated with reality that Chuck is at this point. You can still go, I get that, though. Except for one little thing, genius. John Jones isn't the champion. You stupid son of a bitch. Okay? John Jones is not the champion. Daniel Cormier is the champion. And the fact that you didn't know that, in conjunction with Chael's premise that you're disassociated with reality, kind of proves my point. You're witness. Oscar's getting bad advice to go with that fight in the first place. Scott Coker said no. Dana White said no. Okay, the only two guys that are turning a profit in MMA both looked at that, took a good look at it, ran it through their analytics department, came back and said, you know what, we're going to have to pass. So now he's picking that up. Now that's tough. The reality of it is, though, MMA is very tough. It's a star-driven business, and most of the stars are tied up with one of the two top promotions. So there's just not a lot of guys you can go to, so he's up against it a little bit. Now that may be a reason to just pass, right? If you ever want to be good in business, sometimes you got to know when to say no. The other side of it is, why does Oscar not have his promoter's license? Why is a venue not booked? Why is a team not in place? And as small as this community is in Jacob, it's small, man. I know everybody's business at all times. We just do. It's just a really small community. And then guys go out and they out their own business on social media. Why has there never been a meeting and a picture and a photo op with Oscar and some guys at the table? Why has nobody come to the table yet and say, yeah, I'm actually talking with Golden Boy and I'm thinking about coming over here and doing that. And Oscar's got these really exciting things. Absolutely nobody. Only Tito and Chuck, who when pressed and asked, do you have contracts, simply responded with the truth, which was no. And when you talk about Oscar not wanting to look like he failed, I will remind you, the art of war, the best general never fires a shot. He just aligns his military and makes the other side back down. So all Oscar needs to do before Dana and his new boxing foundation gains legs is he needs to align his troops and hope that Dana backs down. Now, Dana's not even paying attention. He's bluffing the wrong guy. It's not going to happen. I get that. I'm just telling you what Oscar's simple-minded play is. Hey, let me show this guy. If you come into my business, I'm going to come into yours. The other side of it is Dana tried boxing one time and currently holds the record for the biggest boxing fight of all time. Oscar tried MMA one time. That company is out of business, and I would challenge you right now to tell me what the name of it even was.
Can't.
All right, our listeners will know it's called Affliction, but I just knew you would not. And the point is he did try, and he knows what a tough space it is. It's very unique. And boxing is too, but he does a very good job within his lane of boxing. So what I'm suggesting for you, and I'm suggesting it based on the evidence that Oscar does not have a promoter's license. He does not have a venue. He has not been talking to other athletes of which he would have to line up, see who was free, do negotiations with, tie him up, get him under exclusivity, do all these different things that he would have to do, which is getting tougher and tougher to do to draw actual guys in a star-driven business. Because now you've got the Premier Fight League is about to come out from emerging from the World Series of Fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they've got a tournament structure, and they've locked a whole bunch of guys up under contract. So now you don't have the first-tier guys, you don't have the second-tier guys, you don't have the third-tier guys. Who are you going to turn to? You got to have some bodies in there, and you can't just go top-heavy. We've seen promotions, the Affliction one I brought up to you a moment ago. We've seen them make the mistake of going top-heavy. Give fans 7 or 8 fights of whoever, but then, boy, we're going to put on a great main event. In boxing, that works, and I don't know why, but boxers don't pull out of fights. Boxers don't miss weight. Boxers don't bitch out. Boxers don't come up with excuses. I don't know why we see it in MMA, but we do. These guys bail out nonstop. So if you're going to come into the space, you've really got to come in with a lot of capital, and particularly if it's your first foray. You don't want to do a small theater show, small venue. You want to go right into, an NBA-style arena and try to move 10,000 tickets. You got to make sure that your big fight comes through, which means you got to have 3 or 4 of them because you are dealing with pretend tough guys. I will take my shirt off and I will fight you under limited rules. Hey, except my shoulder hurts, so I won't do it. You're dealing with pretend tough guys. It's just a really tough idea for Oscar to have, which makes me believe he doesn't really have it. He's bluffing, and he wants to keep Dana out of his space, so he's aligning his military and hoping that Dana will back down. That's what I believe is happening, and he just drew 2 suckers into it.